happily take this over.
I was
I
just going to
just
say
don't
what
want
you
to
were
be
going to
that
say.
guy
No, hey,
that makes
you
you
want me to take
spend
it?
money, man. I'm worried now, and I gotta be careful what I say on the show
No,
now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean I'll take it
So
because you push.
I'll leave with where I'm at right now, and then you can kind of just say, sure, yeah, that's good, or no, you regret it. I'm infatuated with this track racer hybrid fiberglass seat.
Hey,
No,
Jason, I got it.
no,
I got it.
no.
So you can spend.
Hello and welcome to the Chicane Podcast, where we discuss all things in the sim racing world. I'm your host, Jason Rivera, and I'm joined here by Eric Kelly and Jeff Smart. How's everybody doing today?
Doing good, man.
Doing good as always, man. Great seeing you guys out here again.
Hell
Sure.
yes, man. Just earlier, man, it was funny. Jeff was got out of work and checked his phone. How many messages do you
Dude,
have on the group
I,
chat, bro?
I almost took a screen grab. Oh, I did and sent it to you guys. I came out to my phone and I had 73 missed text messages. And I was like, okay, so like a lot of people, the election's going on, random text messaging from, spam stuff. No. Just
All
from
of
these
it.
two knuckleheads, I had 72 text messages.
Hey, man, the
So
chat was hot today, man.
took me
So
like
that's what
20,
I'm
20
saying,
minutes to read
man.
through.
It's we're approaching the holiday season. This is we're just stepping into November, and you know what that means? That means a lot of sim racing sales, a lot of
Yep.
And then you don't even have to
a lot
say
of.
Yep.
they gave it to me. You could just say I got it on
Yep.
sale.
There you
Yep. It was
go.
on sale.
It's gonna
For
be a
better or for
lot of
worse.
money spending. I can feel it, man. So it's an
Yeah.
exciting time, man. Eric Kelly just built a PC. I'm really
Yes.
excited for him. I
Hell
want
yeah.
weekly updates, man. I want
Yeah.
weekly updates on what's going on because everybody knows when you first build a PC, let alone a
Mhm.
rig to add to that, it's kind of like, damn,
Right.
yo, like I got this brand new machine and it needs attention, and then I also have a rig that needs to be set up with that.
Yep.
So Eric, just give us a quick snap, right, man? What's going on the rig this week at the Kelly's house? What's going on?
Well, so I'm taking my time getting to know it, taking it slow. This is a new relationship. but but so I still go between, as far as the rig goes, still go between the PC and my PS5. They're both hooked up to it. Moved up the rank C in GT7, which,
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah,
Rank
I'm
C.
happy
That's what's
about.
up, man.
Yeah, I'm happy
Okay.
about, because I've been able to drive fast, but it's really, we talked about it before, when you're actually racing, like being able to drive the same speed, the same pace or similar pace for your qualifying lap once the race actually
Consistency.
starts.
Yes.
Yeah. And so being consistent, but also just I feel like I'm to a point where I kind of understand what people are gonna do enough to where
Mm.
I can kind of anticipate, like, oh, this guy, he's coming up fast behind me. He's probably going to dive bomb. I can kind of, adjust. I think I sent a clip where it was like bumper cars in front of me, and I was kind of having to, split guys and, slow up and let guys run off and stuff. It's GT7 is the wild, wild west right now, but moved up the rank C. Happy about that. But on the PC front, um, Assetto Corsa with some mods installed. I was telling that's the reason why the chat was so long. For the first time, I felt like my wheel was trying to kill me because of how much feedback I was getting from Assetto Corsa. I took what was it, a Ferrari 458 Italia on the Nürburgring, and I mean, I've never felt my wheel just respond like that. I mean, everything, and it wasn't. Um, that is
Like
addictive.
woke up.
Dude,
It's scary, but it's addictive.
I'm just I'm excited for you, man. For real. Like
Yeah.
I know what you're going through, and it's kind of cool, right? Because you
Mhm.
bought the Sim Magic setup and you bought it for a PlayStation, to get it going, to get yourself going with,
Mhm.
with some legitimate equipment. You know what I mean? Not legitimate. It is legitimate. Let me correct myself, but That
Yeah.
that step up in equipment is what I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
now you hook it up to a PC, to a different sim, and you're like, wow, like I actually, this wheel does more stuff, or is capable of way more, which is kind of exciting to hear, man. I really, I
Yes.
love hearing stuff like that, man, because
Yeah, man. And
that's
I
a
want to give
feeling.
you,
Yeah.
I want to give you your flowers because I went Sim Magic. I bought what I bought after intense discussions with you, having potential thoughts about buying something else, Logitech or whatever. But this purchase
Bro,
is one where it's like
there's
I got it.
28 episodes, man, and you just continue. You
Yeah.
just continue to roast me on that. I didn't sell you nothing, bro. I didn't do
No,
nothing.
you definitely sold me because I would have went not necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily spent less money, but the Sim Magic, the ecosystem is really what kind of has me excited. The different wheels and the future of Sim Magic. Logitech kind of just came out with a new batch of stuff, but they're still kind of still kind
Mm-mm.
of lagging a little bit. But also just the fact that just plugging my same wheelbase I've been using for the past 6 months into a PC, and it's like I have a new wheelbase. It's like I've upgraded again. And so just wanted to give you a shout out
And
and
your
let you know
wheels
that.
too, because now all your buttons function. Um,
Yeah,
The
they
yeah,
they
rotaries, all the
work
stuff.
yeah,
as
yeah.
they're
I was telling
intended.
Jason on the Neo, there are some rotaries. If you've seen the GT Neo, there's some red rotaries by the thumbs. Those completely left my mind that they were there. I didn't remember that they were there until Jason was showing me Button Mapper, and I'm like, wait, I can actually use these now because they don't register on the PlayStation. So
Mm.
I'm just, it's just a world of discovery. I'm like a kid in a candy store right now, man.
I know this is far off, man, but I don't see why PlayStation can't implement an X input, because that's technically,
Yeah,
that's what it is, right? An X input,
yeah.
that can
Mm,
support what,
So,
a 32 button setup. I mean, it's
so
not
I,
that hard. It's 2024. Get with the program. I
so
mean,
my only assumption is how it's connected because it's not natively supported. And that's really the biggest problem because if you plug up the Logitech G Pro for PlayStation up to the PlayStation, it has a bunch of different buttons. I assume you'd be able to map all of those. The same with the Fanatec stuff.
but it's
And
the
so
same thing as, I'm sorry for interrupting, but it's the same thing as
mm,
plugging in a keyboard. You plug in a keyboard, a full
mm,
blown keyboard, into a PlayStation, and
mm.
all those buttons work. All those
Yeah,
key presses work. So I mean,
and that's why I was
the
saying I feel like if it was fully supported, then I'd be able to access those. But because it's not, going through the Cortex converter and emulating
mm,
a DD Pro, then there's some limitations there with it. That's my my assumption. Because like I say, when I look at the G Pro wheel from Logitech, it has a good deal of buttons on it, and I assume all those work because it has full support. And so for me,
right.
PlayStation needs to open up the doors a little bit with support.
I think, yeah. And to close this, I don't think they will, because they like their
No,
licensed products. They
yeah,
want
why?
their, yeah.
Yeah,
So
what
it's a money
Xbox?
thing.
Yeah, what? There's no competition right now.
Right.
Just just them. So yeah,
All right, man. Hey,
yep.
congratulations on the C rank. Just a quick question on that.
Hmm.
Um, what does that, in GT7,
Hmm.
being a C rank, does that allow more events, or is it an extra? I
more
know it's
content
definitely,
or
yeah. What's up with that?
So there's no real access that's given because you're C ranked. It has more to do with the drivers that you're more than likely to be paired up with.
Okay, so your
okay.
The
strength of field
biggest,
type.
yeah, strength of field, which is noticeably different because
Oh,
so the lowest rank is E, and I haven't encountered many E ranks. I've been kind of hovering in D, but in D you have drivers who might not know the racing line, might not know the track that are racing. And so
right.
just if you're able to stay on the track without being, driven off or knocked off or whatever, then chances are you do pretty good. You might have like one of like whoever set the top time, whoever qualified one or two, first or second, usually they'll just kind of be off to the races because they're not in the field with all the crazy people. The hard part is getting up there. It just kind of depends on who they match you up with. With C, my times usually put me about mid pack with C, and these guys are very intentional about trying to win. Like if it's a 14 lap race, the first lap they're fighting for every position. They're defending super hard. It's just like it. I'm not gonna say it's not fun, but it's intense but they're also kind of sloppy and don't really pay attention to racing etiquette. So there's, pros and cons to it. But yeah, as far as access, no extra access, just faster, more serious guys, I guess.
Okay, that's what's up. And it's EDCBAS, right? S being,
Uh,
I
well,
think they
so
use S.
I don't know if they use S for driver ratings. I never seen an S. The highest I've seen is A plus, and that's with like the guys that are competing in the,
World Championship.
official, the world championship. They're all A plus drivers. I think
Okay,
they're
maybe
at the
it is.
top. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Well, congratulations. And you know how this goes. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
iRacing and any other sim. The higher
Mm-hmm.
you go, the better
Yeah.
drivers out there, and the more
Yeah.
confidence you'll feel because you know that if you do wreck, it's usually just an incident. It's not somebody
Yeah.
just that doesn't know how to drive and just
Yep.
cannonballs you.
It happens.
Exactly.
Like it's been
That was my.
happening. It's been happening to me lately on iRacing because of just my F1 record is not my best, and you with
Oh, first
iRacing the
corner.
highs are very dude. The highs are very high, and the lows are like
It sounds
you're.
very familiar to like a D class F4 race where if you survive the first lap, it'd be a fun race.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
surviving
that
that
was
first
it.
lap.
That
Yep.
that's
That
where I
first
was,
turn,
Jeff.
like you say, man.
My my dumbass was racing in the D class because I wanted to race.
It's
You
fun.
know, I
I know.
wanted.
It is fun.
It's the most active, right?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
It's more people.
there's
Yeah.
more people on the
It
D
just
rank, and
after
then the
that
higher
first
you
lap, it
go, the
thins
less
out.
people. Yeah, it thins out. True. All right.
But
Well,
awesome, Eric. Good
for
work.
me, yeah, hell yeah,
Awesome.
man. So my
Appreciate
piece
it.
of the announcement portion, the SimCore pedals came in. They feel awesome. There are super high quality. Um, they're full CNC aluminum, so everything matches now. And the only thing I'm going to say about them is that they are a little slippery. If you are a sim, how do you say this? If you sim race in socks, which I don't
Oh.
recommend anybody to do. That's another thing we should cover: the importance of having a proper shoe, because if you got the right shoes, man, you can race for a long time, and you can kind of it's just more comfortable. For me, I race with shoes, and now that I put these different faces on, the clutch and gas, there's no way, So even while there's no way, so they're kind of slippery, but
Mhm.
other than that, you put a. I mean, I tried it just earlier with some Jordans on. I know that's not proper wear, but it was drift racing, and I know I spoke all this stuff about having the proper footwear, and I'm over here wearing Jordans on the
Oh,
rig. So
bro. I mean,
Yeah, man.
uh, I live in flip flops, so I get in the rig, take my flip flops off, leave them in the middle, and then I'm driving bare feet. That's what
there you
happens in
go.
Man.
Hawaii.
So
Hey.
barefoot might work on them. So I will say that because
Yeah.
barefoot has way more grip than socks. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm a barefoot, sometimes socks guy. I can at this point I can't do shoes just because I feel like I don't feel the pedals. I know it sounds weird, but
I'm with you, dude.
I
100%.
started out doing socks, but like if I went full shoes, unless they had like some really thin shoes or something like that.
yeah, racing boots. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
If you get the it doesn't have to be a brand. You know what I mean? It could
Mhm.
any racing boots that are, because it's the curvature is what I'm talking about on the toe. It's just more
Hmm.
comfortable to modulate the pedals,
Okay.
but very little diminishing, right? If you got proper
Mhm.
technique, you got proper technique. I'm not saying that you have to go out and spend money again.
Yeah, that
trying
makes sense.
I'm trying not to. The show is not about you and go and spending money on things. It's about just giving you the options, right? Just pointing them out,
Yeah.
essentially. So that's
Yeah.
it for me on the SimCore. They're awesome. They cost a little bit to ship. So if you're thinking about them, they ship out of Australia. Um, and they have adapters for every major pedal set that you can think of. So
Okay.
very nice, clean packaging. I wish I can show them to you, but I could not wait. I was like a little kid. I just ripped
We
the
did get the
box
text
open.
message picture. We got the text
You
message
got the
picture.
picture.
Yeah.
I
And
should
and
put
the
up a picture,
video.
man, but I
Yeah.
that literally just happened. Those things are like brand new. All
Yeah,
right.
I
Well,
understand that, man.
hell yeah, man. So just today we're gonna talk about Ren Sport. And Ren Sport is just had an update recently, and they added an Aston Martin GT3 um, to the arsenal, and
Mhm.
they also added a new track, which I thought I had this open, and I'm not ready. And um,
I need to get
okay,
on the
so
Ren Sport. I haven't tried it.
I need to find this link. So
Yes. Yeah, it's
Eric,
free.
let's move over to the next topic because I thought I had this up and this is my mistake.
All right, we'll
So
jump back to it.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
yeah,
man, no problem. Yeah.
we'll get back to it. Yeah.
So my topic is, obviously I'm just overwhelmed with all the options nowadays, especially with the new manufacturers coming in. But I kind of wanted to talk about the wheel collaborations. So, Moza, they have several collaborations with like Porsche and Lamborghini. Even SimLab has their Mercedes wheel, which costs freaking $2,400.
Oh, it's
And I
crazy.
just wanted to, yeah, I just and I'm gonna throw up
I
a
think
tab to
Fanatec
show you
came out with
guys kind
Bentley
of.
now.
Yeah,
Listen,
Fanatec
bro,
has the
I know
Bentley
you've
one.
thought about it, Jeff, just by knowing you're an F1 fanatic. Oh, snap. Here we go.
I
We have
I
some
Yeah,
content being
I did,
shown.
especially because I'm a Mercedes guy. But then I saw the price tag, and
yeah,
it's just ridiculous. So honestly, in my opinion, it's not even really a great sim wheel. It is
yeah,
strictly for driving F1 at like the highest level, right? Because 90% people
yeah. So,
aren't using any of those dials in the middle. Maybe brake balance, but rear diff, all that stuff on the fly. No, yeah, look at it.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
sexy right there, though.
2,700. My
Like,
bad.
But look at that, bro.
2,700.
That's a
bro,
that,
I would buy that and just put it on the mantle
Yeah, you
and
can't
just be like,
touch it.
look
bro.
at it, look at it,
Yeah, this
Jeff
that's
is a
that's all you can do,
Mercedes
bro.
bro.
fanatic. This wheel was built for you, bro. I mean,
Don't you even
but
start that,
still,
Ricky Bobby. Don't you
no,
even
no, no,
start
no,
that.
no.
This
Twenty
is
seven
Eric's
hundred
topic. We're not
dollars.
talking about me. This
Okay,
is.
yeah. Let me,
I don't want to even look at that thing anymore,
Oh man,
Eric. What are you doing
like,
to us, bro? Why are
bro. It
you?
is a sick wheel,
hey,
though.
What are you
I
doing?
look, yeah, I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on it because I didn't know if it was, being new to sim racing. Is this like a thing that people kind of embrace, or do you feel like it's kind of gimmicky? It's just a money grab.
Hey, so
Like, what are y'all's opinions on these? Because they seem to be coming out more and more
it,
often.
yeah, Eric, can
Moza
I
is
jump in
definitely,
first? Because I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
thinking about this a bunch, especially with the I'm gonna screw it up. Jason, what wheel are you looking at? The Assure the.
Was it Ace Tech or?
No, the one
Oh,
the McLaren
the
collab,
The
the
Artura
Artura.
Ultimate.
Yeah. So when I was looking at for my wheel that I was eventually got the Soul Pack, I really honestly didn't want the McLaren logo on the wheel. And I was like, hey,
Mhm.
I would really think about this if it. And it's nothing against McLaren. I just wanted it nice and clean. Um, and it wasn't until just recently, Jason, I think that they come out now with no brand on there. Um, so I think
Hmm.
Yeah, on the
it's
ADAC, right?
yeah, I think it comes
During
out
the
both
ADAC, they
ways.
announced
Where
it.
some people, if you're a diehard brand, with Bentley, like or the McLaren for the Fanatec, or and whatever it is, you kind of
Yeah,
it's a double
yeah,
edged sword because you got to pay the licensing fee, but then you're also
yep,
stuck with whatever brand is on there. Like if I have a Mercedes on here, which is cool, but occasionally I jump in a GT3 and I'm driving a McLaren. It's just I like it
Yeah.
clean with no branding. So that's me. It's kind of like it's cool, but then I don't always want a brand on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I
can
feel that.
respect that. I can respect that. That is valid. A lot of sim racers feel that way, and that's probably why Asher said, "Hey, man, we're gonna sell you a wheel, and we could put a custom logo on it if you want,
Yo, that's
or and a
badass. That's
name.
cool.
Like imagine having Jay Smart on there. That'd be kind of sick on your own wheels,
Yeah.
custom made for you." Um, but Eric, to your question about the if that's a really tough one to answer, man, because there's a lot of people that are fanatics,
Mhm.
and in my personal opinion, this wheel doesn't cost $2,700 to
No,
make.
no damn way.
Oh
Licensing
no.
a
There's
bunch.
a
Definitely
limit.
not.
I'm
Yeah.
not rich. There's a limit. There is a limit. Now, I know what material, I know what a now that Jeff, you have a high-end wheel now, you can definitely tell from a Sim Magic wheel to your Soul Pack, there's no comparison. There's none. You know what I'm saying? So
Agreed.
when you talk about materials, yes, materials cost and construction and development and all this other stuff that goes with it.
Mhm.
But slapping a logo on it and calling it Mercedes, I mean, it is a Mercedes wheel because it's licensed by Mercedes,
Now,
Mhm.
but it's not. But it's not a real wheel.
I don't know,
It's
man.
not a
There's
wheel
a bunch of the reviews I said are saying
that's an F1 car.
that it's like the same buttons that go on George Russell's
Yeah.
car. You know, it's the
But it's
same
not an
carbon
actual. Is what
fiber
I'm
that
saying.
is
Yeah.
right. Internals are internals, right? Because at the end of the day, the electronics and the protocols and the blah 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 is different. But
No, but it's not like this
it
is a
is the
wheel that Lewis Hamilton
closest
put
thing
his
you.
hands on or
No,
something
he
like
didn't put his
that.
hands on it,
Because then,
sure, but
Oh yeah.
it's still a badass. I mean,
Yeah.
but again, like it's to a very small niche people in this niche market, and maybe that's why they have to charge so
right.
much, is because they know they're not going to sell a whole lot. And I'd be curious to see
Yeah.
how many they sold. I mean, I'd put it on the mantle
Well, it
before I
has a
used it.
Mercedes on it.
Yeah,
Mercedes
No,
is
that
a
that's
Mercedes
not
will sell you a
$2,700.
$100 towel just because it says Mercedes on it.
Shoot, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're not trying to stay afloat by selling these. I'm sure they're
I sure hope not.
expecting to sell a bunch of other wheels because
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
yeah, 2700s. It's
if
a
you're a
status symbol
fan, I
for
say go
sure.
for it. Because if
Yeah.
you're a fan and you can afford it and it's not going to put you under, because that's the one thing I always say: if you can afford something and it's not going to, you're going to miss a rent or mortgage payment,
Yeah, I was gonna say that's mortgage right there, man.
then yeah, that
Sheesh.
base damn near. Well, not in Hawaii, Harry. Come to Hawaii, you'll see what a mortgage
Oh,
payment's like,
hey,
bro.
that's why I would visit. I can't live there,
Oh,
man.
you can come down anytime, bro. Anytime. We
Yeah.
But
got you.
back to your
Um,
question, is it's cool that you have options, because there's some diehard, Porsche 911 people that want the actual wheel that's in the car, and it gives them options, right? Because nobody's
Yes.
putting a gun to your head to go buy a
mm,
specific wheel, but at least it gives you options.
Yeah.
yeah. And
I want a
it's
Porsche wheel.
something that you can look forward to. Like, once you're done building your setups and you can start saving for it and just have it. But if I had a wheel like that, I wouldn't even touch it.
Yeah.
It would be in a locked case, on display with a hole for a wire so I can plug it into the computer and boot it up or something. But I
Uh,
wouldn't want to put wear on this kind of wheel that's very
yeah.
specialized. That
Yeah.
eesh, good
Yeah,
luck
man.
changing out grips on that.
Oh, it
If
better
you
come
ever
with like
need to,
a
honestly.
lifetime supply of whatever warranty.
Or maybe
Shit, I'm
maybe
telling
I'm
you.
being a little too harsh on it because honestly, I've never worn out a steering wheel before. I don't know what wear is, and I'm telling you, I'm on this thing every day, and I
Yeah.
don't use gloves because I'm fortunate that I really don't sweat in my hands that much. I occasionally wipe them down every week. I'll a little Clorox wipe or something. Oh,
No, I'm
Jeff,
not
what you
gonna.
got there, man?
You want some?
I'm
Yo,
telling you, man.
these things are dope. George Russell
Etsy,
replica,
Oh yeah.
and you got it
Etsy,
right,
we're
dude.
looking for
It's even
sponsorship, bro.
yeah, it's Etsy,
Etsy.
100%. They're awesome though. You know, it makes me feel like I'm George Russell in the car. It easily takes 0.3 of a second a lap off wearing those things.
There
Easily.
you,
Hey,
easily,
there you go.
easily.
There you go,
So,
man.
well,
But
Eric,
yeah,
how do you feel about this? The same question that you asked.
so
What are
so
your thoughts?
so for, so for me, I kind of think about it like when I used to sell cars. You know, people have an idea of what something should cost, but at the end of the day, are you able to get this somewhere else for less money? And so for this particular wheel, if you want the Mercedes F1 wheel, you don't have another option really. Like
That is
this is the one. And
a righteous
so they
point.
kind of make up yeah, they kind of can make up a price, and if it's worth it to you, it's worth it to you. To your point, Jason, I would be terrified to actually use it, even though it's
Yeah.
probably built like a freaking tank. Like I imagine the build materials and quality just from reviews I've seen, they always say it doesn't even feel like a sim racing piece of equipment. It feels like it's supposed to be an F1 car.
Mm.
But I mean, if that's what you want, that's the only place to get it. Now, if Cinemagic pops up and they're like, "Hey, we got one too, and it's $800," then you kind of have a decision to make as far as whether it's really worth it or not. But right now, they're the only show in town, and I'm pretty sure they, work with Mercedes on that contract for the license. Like, hey, this needs to be exclusive, at least for a little while.
Hell
So,
yeah,
It'd be
yeah,
it's
interesting to
probably
that's
going to
see
just
what
kind of how
like
I
remain.
feel.
yeah, it'd be interesting to
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
what grid engineer or some of these higher end sim companies, if they jump, in bed, so to speak, with McLaren or Red Bull to come up with their replica versions for at the same price point, like the actual one of one, scale version
Yeah.
of whatever irrelevant wheel that Max is using or Lando. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
Like if the
or
market's
signed
there.
wheel. Imagine signed
Ooh.
wheels for sim racing. That'd be crazy.
Oh
So
man.
I'm
I
starting to
wouldn't
see
want a
Oh.
Verstappen one though. I'll burn it. I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm starting to see people bring their wheels to F1 races, their sim wheels to F1 races, and having the dudes sign them.
Look, so
You should have done
I
that, Jeff.
I'm
You were
not
just at the
lugging this thing
damn.
around. No, go ahead, Eric.
look,
You got something to say.
you just reminded me somebody on Facebook Marketplace. Daniel Morad was racing at IMSA in Atlanta. Somebody on Facebook Marketplace had at their Mercedes wheel that he had signed for them at IMSA on Facebook Marketplace for
How
like
much do
three
you want
thousand
for it?
dollars,
For how
Oh
much?
man, three
like
grand.
3,000.
Well, the wheel's 2,700.
No, so it wasn't the F1 wheel.
Oh,
It
it
was
wasn't.
the
Okay.
GT3 wheel. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but they had it like they had the
That
picture. They
sounded
had the
like you
car
could
in the
you were almost
background of the
considering
picture.
the wheel.
Me?
So
Jeff.
I was like, this is
Yeah.
I was like,
so
that's not a bad.
close.
I mean,
We talked to Daniel.
That's a deal.
Yeah, like well, initially I was just more shocked because I'm like we just talked to Daniel. He told us he was going to be in IMSA. I could have been there, but we had prior engagements. But I'm like, I've never seen that before. Like anywhere. Like the idea of like somebody taking their wheel and getting it signed and you bringing it up. I'm like, somebody's already doing that. So I could see that being a market too.
dude, I see
Signed
it. I'm
wheels,
starting to see
man.
it more. But like having been to an F1 race, you're gonna lug this wheel around all day. Like that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
With
yeah, it's a crazy world we
with
live
the
in.
I know, man,
Yep.
and nothing guarantees you're gonna get anything signed. So you might just, yeah,
Just
that's
be
Oh, to
not a
get
good
one of
thing.
these
That's not a good
F1.
look for me, man. You're just walking
yeah.
around with a steering
Yeah.
wheel all day. Hey guys,
You wearing the right clothes,
can you
you
sign
could
my
probably
wheel,
get.
please?
You wearing the right clothes, you could
Yeah,
get
you
access somewhere. Just walk around like you own the place with matching stuff. Be like, oh, I got to get this to Max or something, or Land. Oh,
yeah,
like,
Oh
oh yeah,
yeah,
hey,
sure, sir,
a,
sure, sir.
a
easily,
wheel and a
bro.
clipboard, man.
There
Yeah,
you
Both
go.
prices are gonna
exactly,
get you.
Eric.
Yep.
You preaching to the choir, bro. Just a
Oh shit, that's
clipboard
funny.
and some paper.
Yep.
Don't do no eye contact. Just
Yeah,
what I'm saying. Hey,
I got some.
I'm
Hey,
late.
excuse.
I got a meeting. You're holding me up. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. That would be
Yeah,
hilarious,
I'm gonna
man.
put you on the late shift. That's what I'm gonna tell him. Next time around, you're gonna be on the
Oh
late
yeah.
shift.
Yep. Get your supervisor out here right now. You holding me up. Oh,
Well,
you
all
said go
right,
through?
man.
Okay. But yeah.
Eric, I'm gonna go back to my topic, which I
Yes, sir.
apologize for that delay here. But Rensport had an update. It's the Aston. They added an Aston GT3 and the Swiss Alps
Hmm.
community mod track. So
Oh, that's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something. I'm going to um, give this sim another chance because it's been seeing a lot of traction. Um, it's a it's been seeing a lot of you know headlines, I guess, popping up here and there. So I
Mm.
need to give it a fair shot, at least before AC Evo comes out. So I'll have more to say about this on the next episode, and that's pretty much it. The Rensport and their roadmap is kind of all over the place right now, and I'm worried because it's been almost a year and a half. The game was supposed to launch last December, and it hasn't
Oh,
launched yet, and we're rolling into
wow.
December of 24.
Oh, okay.
Um, have you guys tried
Man.
Rensport at all?
I have.
Negative.
Okay.
Um, I I'll say this compared to ACC or Settle Corsa with mods, I it's hard for me to see the appeal. Just
Really?
being honest, it
That's
doesn't seem
str-
as refined. Which comparing it to games that have been out for almost 8 9 years, um,
Oh,
for it
so
to
it
be
didn't.
newer
Yeah.
visually, it doesn't. I mean, it's okay. It's not breathtaking or anything like that. Um,
When did
Kind
you
of
test it?
buggy.
Recently on your new setup?
Yeah, on my new setup. That was one of the ones I installed because it was free. So
Mm.
yeah, so in the past,
I mean,
probably a
more
week or
power
two.
to you, right? Install
Yeah,
what you got, and then
yeah,
right,
yep. But yeah, I wasn't super impressed with it.
right. And I'm looking, honestly, bro. I'm looking at the changes here,
Mm,
and they added Cresta Caras, probably butchered that track.
mm,
The Aston Martin Vantage GT3. They added Hockenheim night mode. I mean, why would you need a night mode as a track? I don't know. Just
mm,
make it dynamic. Uh, New
yeah,
features. I'll go over this. Added
mm,
possibility to disable enable volumetric clouds. This is graphics. Player and pick garage are now hidden from other players. Yeah, these are just bug fixes.
mm,
Added possibility to launch the game with integrated GPU. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't seem like this game is ready at all to release, to the public. What they should have done
mm.
was an early access that
Yeah,
allowed a more how do you say this? Like every 2 weeks to have an update or something like that, more active in the community. And
yeah,
it would give them more money because people would put money up on this, and that'll increase the development time, even though I don't agree with pre-releases. But in this case right here, if they don't release this game before Evo comes out, they're in some
oof.
big
yes,
trouble.
yeah. Good luck.
You might as well
Um,
close the doors, bro, because LMU is already a solid contender to AC Evo right now.
yeah,
And
that's next
yes,
on my
they have
list.
their. Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Oh no, I was just saying LMU is next on my list to get.
Okay, yes. So I don't think that game's ever going to have a sale. I think your best
Mm,
bet is to pick it up while it's in pre release, because if you or anybody that's wanting to try it, buy it from Steam. Buy it from
mm,
Steam, play it for an hour or 2 hours. If you find that you don't like the game, you can refund it. I did the same thing with F124, and I'm giving F1 a break here. EA, I'm giving you guys a break, a slack. I'm not going to talk smack about you, but
For once.
I did refund your game, bro, and that was, it takes a lot for me to
yeah.
do that. But if you just want to try it, you know what I mean? If you just want to
Okay. I
install it,
forgot about that piece.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Steam It's not like, PlayStation is very like strict. You buy something, they don't want you to refund it. Steam is kind of like, hey man, if you don't like this game, there's an option. I did not like it.
Yeah.
Submit. So
Yeah, I'll try that out then.
Fair enough.
yeah, something quick and easy. You know, I have a strong feeling that you're gonna like it because it's different. It's a different set of cars, and it's really good. It's really good. It's getting there. It's getting to the point where it's stable enough to hold an online match of racing and not crash. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure someone out there, their stuff just crashed because I said that, but
Yeah.
just take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I got this week for Ren Sport. I want to do a test to see how it runs with my own setup and give my own opinion. But I
Yeah.
just I I got a feeling that Eric, you may be correct on everything that you just said, but I want to
Yeah.
give it the benefit of the doubt, though. You just never know. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
all
To me,
right,
it's more like a foundation. Like they got to keep going, but right now it's gonna be hard.
it's gonna be hard, man. With AC Evo and all the traction, it's
Yeah.
just it's the clock is ticking, bro.
Yeah, get your stuff out there
January
now.
16th. Get the stuff out now,
Yeah.
even if it's broken. Get it out.
Exactly.
All right, so Jeff, what you got for us, man? Discussion wise,
Yeah.
think
So I had some.
wraps it up for me.
Yeah, I was watching the F1 race this weekend in Brazil, and were started. I heard a couple sentences about the simulators that each of the teams use, and I think Haas is getting their first sim, which is kind of cool. Whatever that means. So, but it got me to thinking: is now they talk about all the data and stuff that they get from the sim for different conditions, different tire compounds, different temperatures. All of the variables. And I got to thinking, I'm like, what do these teams who for all intents and purposes have endless budgets, right? Bottomless pockets when it comes to a simulator and getting data. What do they use? What does their simulators look like? And I started thinking, I was like, are they come? I can't imagine that they're coming up with their own top to bottom simulator for each track. And okay, maybe they are. That's one. And I was like, okay, maybe are they taking some program
It's
that's
a lot
already
of
out
money if they
there?
are.
Oh yeah, shit ton of money, right? To program
Mhm.
programmers, all those other things. But it's an option, right? If you got Mercedes and Ferrari money, that's an option. But then it's like, okay, do you take a program a simulator that's already out there, manipulate your tire wear to where you think it's the most accurate for your car with the downforce setups, and then you run laps on Spa if that's that week, or Brazil, or and then like what type of like hardware, like do you have an actual cockpit, or you guys got are you using a SimiQ or a SimLab DDU? I imagine they have their actual wheel in there for the whatever, but like what do you guys think that these teams who have endless budgets are using for their simulator when it comes to software and hardware?
I have a guess.
Send it.
Um, yeah, I can show you what I think they're probably using.
All right.
Some of these guys right here, where they actually have them in an actual kind of F1 style cockpit with the
Oh,
halo and
those?
everything. Yeah, like 120,000, 130,000
Dang, they
dollar
got one for each
deals.
team, huh?
Wait. How much for the
Almost
how much for the Aston?
They'll give you it. It'll
130?
probably break
132,000.
down on the way to delivery.
It's all right, man. I got collateral on the house. I'll put my house on this.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
put
man.
my
Anything
house
in
on
your
Okay,
this,
house is
so
Jeff.
insured, right?
so you think it's something,
And the only
like
reason I say this, yeah, just for
It's
I
just a
don't, I don't know. I
dope.
guess for them to be like actually in the car, simulating as close to possible as being on the track. What is closer than having the entire front end of a F1 car that you're seeing? Of course, you got the screen there as well, but I mean, there's that, and then also we know Max Verstappen. He's using off the shelf stuff in his hotel
he's just
room.
He's just driving iRacing
So
on some.
So
yeah,
you know that they ship his simulator in a crate, and he travels with it every
oh
single
wow,
week.
I heard
Yeah,
I
that,
can believe
and
it.
then I heard
and he has
after he had that crappy performance, they were like, no more driving in iRacing on race weekends.
bro.
But Max could do
You
That's
what
think
Max
that's
wants to
gonna
do.
stop him, bro?
that's
They're gonna
silly.
be like, all right,
um,
man. So I'm just gonna go over. I'm gonna go over to Aston Martin. They need a driver, and they'll let me play my simulator. So
Yeah,
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 checks out.
yeah.
that's what I
As
would
much as
hit
he's
them
been
with.
winning, what
He's
everybody
winning.
has bad days, right? You can't pick, something he does all the time and be
Well,
like,
not
this is why
lately,
you lost this
actually.
time. But
He
but up until this point,
for
or
those of
till
you,
recently.
minor spoiler, and Jeff loves this topic, but for those of you that haven't been, if you're on social media, pretty much you're getting spoiled every week. But yeah, Norris is catching Verstappen, like he's
Pressure's
etching,
becoming
creeping
real.
up on him. Yeah, and that's probably why they were worried about that, because they saw a decline, and
Mhm.
it's just been declining, 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 and but that's easy to say, right? They're blaming this
Mhm.
one guy,
Yeah.
and everything else is just perfect. I don't think so. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because his teammates not doing well. Um, the car reliability wise is okay, but they're losing Adrian Newey. Adrian Newey is
Mhm.
on his way out. He's
Yeah.
he's saying goodbye if he hasn't said it already. So yeah, I guess that's a a small bonus topic on
Yeah,
F1. Even though it's great, man. F1 is so awesome. I got my brother into it
Yeah.
recently.
nice.
He binge watched the entire Drive to Survive
All the
back home,
seasons.
all of them.
Oh yeah, he's hooked. Yeah.
And then
The
after
struggle
that,
is
he
real.
couldn't. Yeah, he's done after
Yeah.
that. It's like a drug now.
Yep.
He's like, what am I gonna
Yeah.
do? I
You got
was
to
like,
watch
I
the
don't
real
know.
race. You watch the
Yep.
weekend warm
I
up.
was
You
like, I
watch
don't know.
practice 1, 2, and 3. You watch qualifying and watch the race. Try to spread it out over 4 days.
Now he's calling me, telling me that, telling me right to wrong. I'm like, dude, you got like 2 days in F1. What are you talking to? Like, you know how it is. You get all
Yeah.
excited. You're like, well, this guy's not performing. And I was like, dude, there's a lot. You need to go back and watch the races first, and
Yeah.
then you can see what really happened, you know.
You know, yeah, just to kind of summarize this topic is I did some homework
Yeah,
and I
my
watched some.
bad. Kind
No,
of
no.
veered
Hey,
off.
listen, I'll talk F1 all
Mhm.
day. You usually have to curtail me on these topics. So I watched a bunch of videos on YouTube. Like a lot of the teams give tours of their facilities, right? But there's
Mhm.
one thing that they just seem to all have in common is they don't show you the simulator. They kind of show you pieces of it, but never like in the cockpit, all of it
Mhm.
together, if you will. They show you, it's some of them are projectors, but I was like, that's interesting, and it just is. I would love to see the data that they're pulling and how it interacts with the real world, strategy of the day, when it comes to tire
Mhm.
degradation, downforce levels, and things like that. So seems to be a very tightly controlled secret. So yeah, shout out to Haas getting
Yeah.
their own simulator. They don't have to use Ferraris now. I think they're getting their own, and maybe their own wind tunnel too. So they don't have to share Ferraris. So,
Well,
but dude,
they're
it'd
doing a
be
lot
cool to
better.
see.
So maybe
Yeah,
budget went up because Haas was kind of struggling with
starting to perform.
budget
Yeah, winning solves a
big
lot,
time.
but it'd just be cool to see
Yeah.
what an endless, bottomless budget could do for a sim. I mean, it's strictly formula, right? But it would
Yeah.
be super interesting to see how they're simulating feedback, what DD they're using, if they're even using a proprietary. It would just be super interesting.
So I
Yeah.
know
That'd
that
be dope.
rally sims use D-Box, for the full motion, and that's kind of how it became popular with sim racing. And because,
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
but then simulators, I I believe that simulators became more important because of COVID, because they had to build something now in addition. I don't know. We need to dig back and check to see if they were still running simulators back in 2019 and years before that. I'm pretty sure they were, but I'm pretty sure they weren't as state of the art as what we have today because of the need for it. The off season, keep the guy in check. You're not going to put him on. You're not going to put him in F1 2019 to train. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no, definitely
or
not.
F1 2020 or whatever it was back then.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, it's
interesting.
really interesting. I like that question, Jeff. I mean, that's really interesting. That's something that hey, if anybody watching or if anybody listening knows the answer, please email us at the chicanepodcast@gmail.com, please.
That'd be cool.
Or
Yeah.
if you have a link, anything for us to look at, that would be awesome to look at, to see and compare. Um, because
Yeah, what they're
there is a
using.
guy that builds setups with the simulator. We just have to find him.
Yeah, there's somebody that did
Yeah.
put it
So if
together.
anybody knows where this guy lives, man, we'll stalk him.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting though, man. But
All right.
I guess I was gonna say keep it in the same vein, simulators and what pieces people are using. I did want to ask you guys about your seats. So just looking for myself to upgrade from my trusty Honda Civic seat that I've been using. It's comfortable, but I just want something that's a little bit get a little bit more towards racing, and then just aesthetically looks a little bit better. But obviously, everything that looks good isn't good. So I do have a question. Do you guys have a preference or just a hard stop on reclining seats versus fixed back? And then even with the fixed back, they have like the rally style, they have the GT style, they have the hybrid. There's a lot of options out there. So I want to get get y'all's opinion on the seats.
Jason, go ahead. This one I think is pretty. You pushed me in the right
Okay.
direction, and I have zero regrets.
I
Okay.
I wanted to hear what Jeff said, but I will happily take this over.
I was
I
just going to
just
say
don't
what
want
you
to
were
be
going to
that
say.
guy
No, hey, you want
that
me to say,
makes
you
you
want me to take
spend
it?
money, man. I'm worried now, and I gotta be careful what I say on the show
No,
now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean I'll take it
so
because you
I'll
push.
so I'll leave with where I'm at right now, and then you can kind of just say, sure, yeah, that's good, or no, you regret it. I'm infatuated with this track racer um, hybrid fiberglass seat.
Hey,
No,
Jason, I got it.
no,
I
See,
got it.
no.
So you can spend the thousands of dollars and go get a real Sparko seat. They're awesome.
I've
Jason's
seen
got one
those.
and it's killer. Jason told me about NRG. Am I saying it right?
NRG.
NRG.
Yeah,
Yes.
yep, they're on the
Amazon,
list.
$312 shipped. It looks
Yep.
it's honestly, yeah, it's a car approved seat, like you put in
No,
a
it
real
is a
car.
car seat.
Yeah.
It is a
Yeah.
car seat.
But it's molded, right? You're not gonna, there's no recline or nothing. It's
Mhm.
adjustable mounting brackets. It mounts into your normal seat that you get. It's like I got the little handle underneath that you can slide it forward and backwards like a real car.
Slider, yeah.
And yeah, slider. And for the price, you really can't beat, for $300 to have a real seat that is molded and you feel like you're sitting in a race car seat. You get you have your
Okay.
wheel and the seat, and it's nice and
Mhm.
firm, and do I wish I had the Sparko seat? Yeah, absolutely. Can I justify as a step up at this point? It's a badass seat for $300, and it looks killer. You could get a
Okay.
couple colors. There's like purple suede or whatever, and I just like the black. It's
They
nice
got
and
some
clean.
funky colors
Yeah, they got
too,
some
some
like yeah,
glitter and
yeah.
shit on there.
But
I've seen
honestly,
them.
like you can
Yeah.
adjust the angle that you are and all that other stuff in the mounting into the slider and stuff. But
Mhm.
Jason, help me out here. For the price for what you get is hard to compete with.
Okay.
Okay.
Is
Now,
everybody
with
ready
that
for my
said, here
answer?
we go.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be as fair as possible. I'm gonna be as
Mhm.
fair as possible. So when you're shopping for a seat, it first of all, never, ever, ever, ever buy a seat from a rig manufacturer. Sorry, I know I could
Okay.
I could be screwing myself over here with my YouTube content of you sending me a
Yeah.
seat. I don't
We try
want
to
them.
we
I
try to be
don't want them.
straight, right? That's it. We tell it how it is.
No, no, straight chaser on the Chicane podcast. I
Yeah.
keep getting these slogans from Jeff. Like I
Straight
keep
no
getting
chaser. Maybe that's a Boston thing. I
straight
don't
no
know.
chaser.
Yeah.
Maybe it probably
Take it straight. You don't need no
So
chaser. Just give it to me.
so
If
you're
it burns,
saying
it
no track
burns.
racer, regardless,
no sim
recliner
lab.
fixed back.
And I'm a sim lab fanatic. No
Same
sim
here.
lab.
Those blue seats are
You know
nice,
what it is?
but you can get better ones.
They buy these seats
Mm.
and they coat them and they put their logo on it. That's what they do. So NRG,
Okay.
Sparko, there's one more that I would recommend. NRG Sparko. NRG is mostly for the mid range to high range, depending on the
Mm.
model. Let's be real.
Mm.
Sparko is on the upper high echelon. It's in the high range, but it's a
Yeah.
specialized seat. Remember that, guys. Sparko is a seat. It's a seat that's very narrow. You got to make sure you fit in this thing. So if you
Yeah.
have a dealer nearby, trust me, do yourself a favor, go over there, pretend like you're going to buy something. Or maybe you're going to buy it from them, who knows. But be
Yeah.
careful
They're
because
tight. I've sat when I sit in your seat. I'm like, did I put on some weight or shit? This is
yeah.
tight.
Actually, and it was tighter than that, and it kind of flexed, and it's nice now because it adjusted to me, basically. And this seat is FIA approved. Does it need to
Yeah.
be FIA crash approved? The seat's not going to crash. But the reason why I wanted it to be FIA approved is because I didn't want noises. I don't want to hear anything or creaking or sounds or nothing. And that's kind of a discussion where you kind of get what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
that out the way. Oh, Recaro. Recaro is another seat
That's
that I
it.
would
Yep.
recommend.
Yeah.
Recaro is a great seat,
Another high end. Yeah.
high end seat, very known. And again, you have a warranty with this seat. You buy a seat from Track Racer, later down the road, you find out that it's filled with foam or whatever it is that they use. These seats, and your seat too, Jeff, your NRG seat, is a full molded construction. It's fiberglass.
Hey,
It's
I'm gonna
not
jump
going.
in. I'm gonna jump in right here because I want to
Yeah,
put a bow on that
go
point.
ahead.
Is the molded fiberglass is incredibly important because when you next thing eventually down the road is you're gonna want some type of butt kicker or something
There
like
it
that,
is.
and you can mount it
Mm.
directly to the bottom of the seat on that fiberglass stuff, and you lose zero of the vibration. It just goes straight into the
Yes,
seat, straight into you. You don't have to crank
perfect.
up the volume. It already has the
Mm.
seatbelt hole that you mount the little sandwich mount that Jason and I kind of we should copyright that
We
thing or something. But
engineered.
we
We
engineered it.
engineered
It's
this.
a it was designed for it. It's that the molded thing is a showstopper. At least for me, if I was going to tell somebody, you can go anywhere you want.
So
Just make sure you get a molded seat so you can do the butt kicker because the butt kicker, once you do
I'm
it, you
ready
can't
for
go
it.
back.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, it's.
Yeah. I'm ready
I
for it.
cannot be without it. I won't
Yep.
race. I'll turn my shit off. I'll go to bed. Something's wrong with the butt kicker. I'm going to bed. I guess I'm
Yeah.
going to bed. No, for real though. Like
That's funny.
that's a great point, Jeff.
Sorry to
Because
interrupt there, but it was a perfect transition
no,
to it.
no, no, no. That is a perfect.
Yeah.
That is a welcome interruption, man. Because I probably would have left that out. I didn't think of that, and you're right. And another thing is comfort. For some
Mm.
reason, sitting in these things are more comfortable than foam than the what you get from. And I know this, guys, because I went through the pain. I went and ordered a freaking Next Level Racing seat that looked amazing. It
Mm.
had like the leather and it looked nice and it reclined
Yeah.
and all this stuff. And speaking of
Mm.
reclinables, stay away from them. You're gonna get
Yeah.
flex, and
Yeah.
if you're flexing back and forth, now you're creating a damper with your brake. And the
Yeah.
moment you don't have that flex, your braking is off or your movements are off. You want to be as stiff as possible. Why a GTC? Because a GTC is adaptable. If you buy an F1 seat, that's all you're going to race is F1. You're
Yeah.
down here and you're not gonna. There's no way. So a GTC, yes, it kind of ruins the immersion if you're deep into it. Like, Jeff even told me one time, man, I wish that I had my pedals up here, my seat down here, kind of like a F1 like simulator. But then I told him if you do that, it kind of locks you into that, and that's
Yeah, the
perfectly
F1.
fine if you want to go about that and that be your simulator. You can have a straight F1 simulator, but I believe that because you have a wheelbase, because you have different wheels, because you have pedals, you can be playing everything with a single piece of happy medium is what I call it, is a
Yeah.
GTC.
And yeah,
And
go ahead. I'm
they
sorry,
have
Jason.
screws on them too. No, you're good. Go ahead, Jeff. They
Yeah.
have screws. All I was gonna say is that
So
they
yep.
do go up
So
and
that's where
down.
I was going to kind of go is
Okay.
so I do 90% of formula, 10%, maybe 80-20 between that and GT3, where I have it
Mhm.
just canted a little bit to give me a little bit of that F1, a little bit of the position, but my pedals and it sits
Okay.
just upright enough that it's comfortable and passes for GT3 driving. Yeah, but I wouldn't,
Okay.
to Jason's point, unless you are sure you are dead set on only F1, I would not go down that
Yeah.
F1 style. But it doesn't seem like you're interested in that. But
Yeah,
to the listeners,
and
you better make
even
sure that
even
you're
Sparko,
dedicated F1. Yeah.
yeah, and even Sparko wheels. Like, I mean, Sparko seats. Let's
Mhm.
say you bought a Sparko seat that's $1,000 and it reclines. I would
Mhm.
still not go with a recliner. Why? Because things wear out after a while. You know what I'm saying? But something that's molded,
Mhm.
it's molded. It is not,
Yeah.
you know, fiberglass is I think that's what's in the F1 cars, right? They're molded fiberglass inside the cockpit, or is it carbon fiber?
No, I think it's
Maybe carbon fiber.
molded
Fiberglass?
fiberglass. Yeah, they take like a mold of the driver. It's pretty cool.
So it's durable, it's
Yeah.
tested, it's tried. It's a one time buy. So I mean,
Yeah.
for $400 seat, right? 378, $400. You really can't go wrong with NRG. I'm
Mhm.
personally a huge fan of the brand. All my quick releases are NRG. Um,
Same.
Nice.
they make, yeah,
All
they
two.
make legitimate. Hey, welcome to the party.
Yeah.
and and when you pick the wheel up and you feel that, you feel the quality. Same thing, you go to your rig and you sit in your chair and you feel, and you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So we
That's
sold him, bro. He's
my.
gonna buy the shit as soon as we stop this recording. He's probably gonna order this shit if he hasn't already.
Yo, just save up for
So
Black
it's
Friday stuff, hopefully.
Yeah,
well.
Black Friday.
So it's confirmation for me, man, because the NRG out. The only reason I haven't gotten the NRG seat, specifically the one off of Amazon, they're like $288 now. Like it's
Oh, really?
crazy. Yeah, it's because of the price. I kind of was shaky. I'm like, I'm looking at Sparko seats, looking at Recaro seats, hell, even the track racer seats. Like they're minimum, $400 or $500. So I'm like, these NRG seats are everywhere. They're
Right.
fixed back. Can they really be that good? But knowing that Jeff has one, it's like that's a no brainer.
There she is.
Well, just be careful.
That's a done
There is
deal.
I would recommend the Prisma model. I
Is that
there's
the
a
one with the glittery back?
Yes, but don't get the unless you like the glitter, bro. Up to you, man.
Nah,
Hey,
nah, I'm good.
if
good,
if
man. I'm
if
good,
you want
man.
a glittery background, that's up to you, man. But
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Anybody wants the glitter? Hey, you can have it,
I
man. It's not for
I
me.
don't know if it's there's a model because I had this same thing and I told Jeff, I was like, Jeff, don't buy this model because I read some bad stuff about one of them.
Eric, I'll
So
link you to the one that I bought on Amazon, and I'll give it to Jason so he can throw it in the description in the
yeah,
show.
hundred
I mean, I
percent.
vouch for it
And
100%. But I've never
I
tried
want
another
to know
seat.
what you
But I have
buy.
no
I
gripes.
want to know what you buy, man. I want to know because it's exciting. And don't throw
Yeah.
that seat away, bro. You can have that seat as a guest seat, the car seat. That's what I would do in a corner somewhere.
As a
I don't know.
as a guest seat.
Hang out in front of the TV or something in the garage or something.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or a cigar chair, bro. You can always use those. Uh, I'm always searching for the
Mm,
perfect cigar chair. Yeah, give him an ideas, bro. Telling you.
okay.
I
Start
already,
mentioning
we already
cigars. Got my
listen.
attention.
we got him a way out of his seat and what he needs to buy. So,
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh, another thing I will say about seats, guys, and Jeff, you mentioned it. You have a seat slider, right? I would
I
highly
do.
recommend do not put the seat slider on. I regret putting mine on.
Do you?
I rather have a yes, I do. I rather have a fixed position. I rather it be bolted down. That way nobody accidentally goes in my rig, and I've had nightmares about this. My brother came over the house and he's like, I can imagine him drunk in the house because he came over on vacation and just dipping in the rig and oh, let's see what this does. And just completely messed up my perfectly perfect seating. And even Jeff, I tell him, hey Jeff, you come into the house, right? Don't move the chair, bro.
I,
You're gonna
I'm
you
more
wiggle yourself in there.
I'm more
Don't-
gingerly get in your rig than I do in like a military aircraft if I was to get in it. I mean, it's like, but on the other side of the spectrum is like I do get enjoyment of watching like my friends from the mainland that come out and they know this is a hobby of mine, they know the podcast, and I want to see them get in there. And if like one of my friends is like 6'8", there's no way he's getting in there.
Damn.
Oh yeah, he's a tall dude. There's no way he's getting in there at the same
6'8".
set. Yeah, he's a tall dude. Tall, like I think you've met
So
him
what
before.
is he? You should just put the game on the top monitor for him because he's probably gonna be.
But it's cool to
see.
see. It's cool to
That
see.
was way up
You
here,
guys
bro.
are terrible. It's cool to see other
Hey,
people's
if you're
reaction.
watching, I'm sorry, man.
Nah,
Nice to
he's
meet
good,
you.
dude. He'll forgive me.
Okay.
But anyways,
I didn't mean
there's
it, but-
pros and cons to both, to having the slider and stuff. I think it's cool because it adds a little bit of realism to the, like, oh, like people are like, oh man, you even got a slider for this thing. So, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you can't go wrong with NRG because it comes with a slider. So, I mean, if you want it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, it's up to you. But yeah, again, this is good. We get to hear Jeff's perspective. My perspective is when I first got the rig, it needed to have that slider because my thing was sliding in back and forth. But because I change, this is a personal thing, because I change sims so much, sometimes how do you say this? By moving the seat back to drive a truck and be more relaxed, whenever I want to go to GT racing, I found myself wasting time. Like, okay, scoot up. Oh no, that's too far. Okay, wait, that's too back. Oh wait, that's too far. So I kind of found where I needed it to be and just left it the way it is and not moved it. And then just adjusted my pedals and did all my adjustments based off that seat position. That's why I'm kind of anal about it.
Yeah.
There's no other word. I'm just anal about it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So
That's what's up,
that's
man.
a done deal for me, man. Yeah, shoot that link,
Yeah.
Jeff.
absolutely,
And,
buddy.
that'll be
We'll
next.
provide you the info, Eric. We'll
Yeah.
get
Oh,
you
I
where you
know.
need to go, bro.
Well, look, that's why I bring my questions on, man. I'm,
We're
I
called
just
enablers.
pile them up.
There
Oh,
you
yeah.
go. And to be fair, Jeff's seat is pretty comfortable. Like
I like it. I love it.
it's probably
no complaints.
it's probably more comfortable than my own Sparko seat. Again, you might find it different, Eric. So if you have a dealer around, you happen to be blessed to live in the lower 48. You don't have lower 48 problems like we do in Hawaii. So there's not
Nobody
a
feels
freaking
bad for us.
yeah. There's no equipment and nothing.
No.
Bro, seriously.
Yep.
Go out there, do some window shopping and just say, hey, I'm just looking for a seat and sit in them. That's all I can tell you. Sit in them, try them out. Amazon, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with Amazon. Order the stuff, you don't like it, pack this thing back up, send it back to them. So either way, up to you. So, and to close that out, the Sparko seats, and I'm pretty sure Recaro seats as well, they sell a non-FIA version, and it's usually like 150 less or whatever. I just wanted the legitimate, the sticker, that
It's
is
badass.
that
I'm
it-
not
you
gonna.
know,
I'm not gonna
that-
sit here and say it's not.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
looks-
cool seat.
that is official, whatever. I don't know. So
Yeah, and they look good now.
Oh, it looks hella good.
Oh, I murdered the thing out. You could barely see it that it's a sparkle. See, it's murdered out with stickers. But yeah, I think uh that's about it for today. We're
Yeah.
kind of cutting it close on the time. And that's just the thing. All three of us get on this podcast and the time just flies. Like
Yeah.
if you guys would see the show notes here, we're like we're gonna have to move some stuff to the next episode because we just get into it and it's I don't know, I'm just happy to be here. Episode 28. Can't believe it's been wow, almost 7 months now of podcasting and we're
Yeah.
rolling into the new year. So I don't know. We might have some drinks on a live thing. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing something, but
That'd be cool. It's just
I
Yes, sir.
this is how we are. Like the 5 minutes before we hit rolling, like we're just sitting here shooting the crap up with the boys, and it's cool that we know people listen to us and we're part of their drives to work and stuff like that. As we're talking about things that we're prideful in.
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely,
man.
man.
So I'm excited. I'm excited. Eric's part of the PC crew. He's always been part of the crew, but he's part of the PC crew. So,
Yes,
and
sir.
he's still for all you listeners out there. I think I said this on the last episode, but he is still a PlayStation. He is still our PlayStation expert connoisseur. It's back there. It's hidden. It's getting dust, kind of. But if you guys have any questions for him, I want that to continue. Please ask
Yeah.
him away. He's here to help on the PlayStation side of things. He's not going to leave you guys behind. And that's all I have. Any round tables, guys?
Yeah, none for me.
I do have one. In our last episode, we had an individual, Young Belize, made a comment and asked us to talk about the soul pack that I got right over there. You can barely see. To talk about on the show. So, Young Belize, next week I will have a session on here where we talk about it. I'll give it up here and I'll try to get up here, show and click some buttons and show some of the cool features. Some things I like about it, some things that I wish was a little bit different. But yeah, we owe that to you. We've been talking about it, about how it took me 47 million days to get off my can and actually hit the order button. But yeah, we'll get you, buddy.
Yeah, and it'll be good to get your opinions on it. Like it's been a while, so you've had it for a while now. It seemed to make a buzz too at the ADAC. Mike told us here on the show. So I mean, that's really good for the company. I want to say because
That's
the
a small
company is like
company.
a small company.
Yeah, they
So
worked. I mean, I don't want to get into it now. We'll steal the thunder for the next one. But Young Belize, we got you, buddy.
hell yeah, man. And Young Belize, thank you for the comment on YouTube. Email us at the Chicane Podcast if you have chicanepodcast@gmail.com. If you have any specific questions for Jeff that you would like him to cover on the next episode, and we'll put that in. But yeah, that's it for this week. Thank you so much, guys, for being here again, once again. And to all you listeners and viewers, have a great start of your week. Thank you.